Hey battle buddies and healthy heroes, my name is Susie. I am here with LARP fitness content for you. We are into our spring training drills. Last year we talked about toe sweep J-hook, and this year we're going to do something a little more advanced, a reverse sweep with a 7 hook. It's very similar, but it's going to feel really different in your body. Why is this good on a battlefield? It is a swift strike and an unexpected combo. It's a difficult to defend location when you get down low, and it pairs really well with skills like Slay or Eviscerate. Because it is so surprising and difficult to defend, you can just hit them with something big. And why is this going to be good for your body? All of that motion is great for forearm muscle mass, and then the combo that you pair it with is going to be really good for your wrist strength and range of motion and flexibility. It's good arm work and a surprising combo. Let's get to it. So last year we talked about the toe sweep and the J-hook. This year it's a similar idea, but it's going to feel different on your muscles. Your approach is going to be different. It is a reverse sweep and then what I have to call a 7 hook. It's kind of like you're making the top of a 7 when you come in on the hips. So the idea here is my long sword is sweeping down, aiming at his front leg that is most exposed. And something that helped me with this one to distinguish it from the original toe sweep is to think inside, outside. So I'm starting by crossing my body, coming from my inside to the outside, and drawing a 7 backwards. As the sweep follows through, I am going to do kind of like a supination of my wrist to twist it and get in for a little tap on his hip before I come back. You want to be mindful of your range and how much you need to lunge. Keeping range in mind, you're going to do a little lunge in to where you need to get for your distance to aim with the leg, and then 7. Leg 7. Leg 7. When I'm drilling, I always stay light on my feet and do just a little bit of footwork back and forth. Leg 7. Leg 7. Inside, outside, 7. Inside, outside, 7. And similarly to the regular sweep, Albert is the one who has made me learn that whenever I'm exposing my arm for a sweep, this cross guard is really beneficial. I call it a high cross guard if I'm getting all the way down here and need to stop him. But sometimes I even just need to keep it down here. If he's aiming for my forearm, all I gotta do is stop him from batting my arm. So it can be a cross like that. So inside, outside, 7. Inside, outside, 7. Inside, outside, 7 with a high cross guard. Oh, and I will say, when you're doing your high cross guard, it's best to have a full return, because it'll be lazy if your brain checks out and you just leave this up here and you're thinking about your sweep. Like, somebody's gonna wreck your elbow. Like, that's not practical on a battlefield to just leave that. Like, the motor plan wants to include the return, so your reflexes are always snapping back to a tighter defense, a more appropriate defense that's able to hit, like, able to respond to more things. When I am drilling, I make 2 changes. The first change is switching what hand my sword is in. For this drill, for a toe sweep, I will never use a short sword to try to aim for a toe. But I'm drilling, I'm exercising, I want my body to develop evenly, I want to have control of a long sword in both hands just for body symmetry purposes. So I keep this leg forward and I switch what hand my long sword is in. Now, because it's a reverse sweep, my direction is going to be different. Inside, outside is now coming from this way, and I guess it's a backward 7, like my kindergartner writes. Inside, outside, backward 7. Inside, outside, inside, outside. And then if you did want to parallel the motor plan on the opposite side of your body, the high cross guard would come from your right hand now. Inside, outside. And trust me, this feels way worse. As soon as you put a longsword in your offhand and try to do a combo with it, you will feel how much harder you have to work, and then you'll realize, like, oh yeah, I will benefit from tightening up my offhand just for physical prowess purposes. I might not ever actually fight on a battlefield offhanded like this, but it's good to practice. The next thing that I switch when I'm drilling is my stance. So I will then do the sword aggressing from my dominant hand with a switched stance. Inside, outside, 7. And it might not seem like a big deal. You might not even be cognizant of what stance you're in when you're newer on a battlefield. But as you get more advanced, what leg is leading and how your hips position and shift becomes really important and really helpful for fluid mobility, to be unpredictable. And the difference between a regular stance doing a sweep and a switch stance doing a sweep, the reach feels just a little different. And because it feels different, the range consideration is going to be a little different. That's why it's worth drilling both ways. You'll feel the difference. So now I'm in a switch stance and I'm going to practice the inside-outside sweep. Inside-outside sweep. Inside-outside sweep. Inside-outside sweep. And then once I'm done drilling that side, inside-outside is now in my non-dominant hand, so it switches directions. The 7 is now backwards. I am overextending. Did you feel that? Did you guys see that? I switched what hand my longsword was in, but I didn't adjust my feet at all, and I was overextending. Like, I didn't need to be that close to him. So make those stance and sword adjustments, practicing with a target that gives you that physical feedback, a pal or a partner, and you'll see just how much finesse you can put into your range and your drilling, so you're not overextending. Now my left leg is forward instead of my right leg is forward, and I'm going to do inside outside from this way and then snap back to a more ready position. Sweep. And there you have it. That is a reverse sweep. The key point is going inside outside, drawing a 7. Inside outside 7. And you sweep, and the wrist flick is what makes your 7. You sweep, and then your wrist actually supinates to sort of serve like a pizza before you pull it back. Sweep, serve. Sweep, serve. You see it? Have fun out there.